Hi, I'm Mark from Property Ventures. If you're looking at buying a new build in the next couple of years, or a Kiwi build, or if you're an investor and looking at buying an investment property, particularly a new build in the next wee while, please spend the next 10 minutes or so watching this video. We have some really special new build product now, cheaper than Kiwi build, and you don't have your 3-year stringent rules the government have put on you for a Kiwi build. If you're looking at investment property, we have some investment properties cheaper than you'll see anywhere else. We have properties that you won't see anywhere else. So if you can just spare 10 minutes of your time to sit back and watch this PowerPoint presentation I'm going to show you. And we'll start off before we even get going. It's just a reminder, why new builds. The first thing is maintenance, no or low maintenance for the next 7 to 10 years. This is one thing when I spoke to a few property managers a couple of months ago. They said, I said, hey, how's it all going? And they said a lot of people were selling their old product now, not because of the new rules so much, but because they're sick of the maintenance. Plumbing goes in a place and it costs them 7 or 12 or 15 grand. The roof, you pay more than that. The maintenance is a reason a lot of people can't afford to have old properties. So new builds obviously alleviates that problem. 20% LVR, what's that mean? That means if you have 20% equity in your own home, or you have $100,000, for example, you can borrow another $400,000, meaning you can buy a $500,000 new build. If you're buying a second-hand product, you might only be able to buy about a $350,000 property or thereabouts. Low interest rates obviously right now are the lowest we've seen them for many, many years. All indications are they should be staying approximately where they are for the next couple of years at least. So LVR 20%, low interest rates on the rest of the money. You won't get a much better time right now. And the other reason, the under 40s, the new generation of people these days, they, all people like me, they don't like getting outside anymore and painting the fences, mending the fences, doing the hedges, doing the lawns, sanding back the exterior of a house, all those bits and pieces. There's so much more to do these days. The computer world has made this world a different place, and people like getting out there and actually enjoying the weekends they do. We all work too hard anyway. So that's just another reason why people and tenants are really particularly liking new builds over second-hand products. And just another one I'll just throw in there, especially in Auckland I'm talking about here, is in the last couple of years I've seen terrace housing, 3 bedrooms that have been selling for mid-sevens and higher. Right now it seems to be the lowest I've seen new builds sell for. One of the reasons for that, I think, is Kiwi Build have set a benchmark of here's the price if you're buying a 3-bedroom Kiwi Build in Auckland at $649,000. That's the new price. If you're buying a 2-bedroom, it's $599,000. That's the new price. Excuse me. So what does mean that has brought down the new build price, particularly in Auckland and probably some of the other larger areas around the country. So that's just a few reasons why I see it before I get on to 4 outstanding different properties that we're going to talk about. Just before we talk about the 4 properties, the last one in particular in Christchurch and also the first 2, we've worked with these developers. In one of the cases, this is the 4th development. What I like, people, a lot of people and some people listening to this won't know, if you get in at ground level with a developer, they need so many sales that are called pre-sales to satisfy the bank that the development will go ahead. So, with some of these properties, after the first 10 are sold, they might be $50,000, $40,000 under real value, recent valuation. And after the first 10 are sold, they'll go up 10 or 20,000. After the next 10 are sold, they'll go up another 10 or 20,000. So what happens by default, it doesn't even matter what the market does, to be fair, between when you buy your first one off the plan to when the last one sold and when the place is completed, you have made that equity, whether it's 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, you have made that money in real money, and if someone tries to sell it now, they'll be selling for at least that price. That's just how the market works. When you get in quickly with a good developer that needs those pre-sales early on. A great way of investing. A lot of my people I've sold properties to in the last 5 years, new builds, have had that experience. Anyway, let's race into this and have a look at our first property. The first two are through a developer we're working with for a wee while. They build Kiwi build product. They also build a lot of stock around New Zealand, from Jacks Point in Queenstown to Christchurch to 7 projects sort of on the go at the moment in Auckland. So what have we got? We have Otahuhu Development in Princess Street. It's right down by the park around the Estuary Way, what I call the best part of Otahuhu by a long shot. And this is right on the water. In fact, the bottom one here, the bottom one on the screen, you can see the grass in front. That's actually right on the waterfront. The one up top is on the behind that front one, and looks onto the road, obviously there. So we're selling. We've got the whole complex. There's 36 places in this complex. We especially want to sell the top ones first, and we'll show you in the immediate slide, why and the story about it. So what do we got? First of all, it's not a cheap build. It's a quality build, designed really well by a top architect in Auckland, here in Ponsonby. It has quality chattels, has merely whiteware, etc. Has a timber composite flooring throughout the 2-bedroom unit. There are three bedroom units in this complex. We're really going to concentrate on the 2-bedroom units here to sell. They are 58.5 square metres plus 2 decks, a deck on the kitchen side so you can put a wee barbecue out there, and a deck on the other side so you can put a table and chairs there to spend the evenings having a wine or having something to eat. Obviously, if you're on the ground floor, they have 39 to 45 square metres of grass out there, which is also very nice. Rental appraisals go up to 560. I'd say 550, 540 would be the prices these will rent out for. The first 6, this is what I was saying about before. The first 6 here have very good discounts. The 589s are on the 3-story, the ground floor and the first floor and the top floor. The ground floor and the first floor are at 589,000. The rents evaluations are 615. The ground floor, as I said, has 39 square metres of land, and the top one has a deck of about 8 square metres, as well as the 58.5 square metre 2-bedroom apartment. Being really well designed to maximise a big kitchen and a good living area with obviously 2 bedrooms and one bathroom. After those 6 are sold, they're going to go up probably about $10,000, and after the next 6 are sold, the same will happen again. You may or may not be aware of this. This is, if you get these ones down the bottom, they are cheaper than Kiwi Build, that you can go anywhere right now. And if you so cheaper than Kiwi Build, you don't have the 3-year restrictions the government put on you. Why wouldn't you look at this if you're looking at something similar anyway? So these are great for first home buyers or investors. A good range of different properties on this site to look at. By the way, the $609,000 ones, they're the top floor. The second floor, they've average evaluation 640. So there they go. Obviously under average evaluation, and a Panama Road, which is probably about 500 metres away. There are units there selling for $695 at the moment, 100,000 less than they're selling for. Is it a good deal? Yep. Will you find it anywhere else? Not at the moment. So will you find it this cheap ever again? Definitely not. So there you go. That's one deal I'd love you to look at. We'd love to sell those 6 pretty quickly. And if you're looking at this looking for a new build, you'll probably want one of the first 6 anyway. So if you're interested, email me, mark@propertyventures.co.nz or info@propertyventures. And if you want to put a heading at the top of the page, if you want to, put Otahuhu Development, and I'll know what you're talking about. So that's the first property. The next one we're going to look at is by the same developers. The interior, the layout, 58.5 square metres is exactly the same. The decks are exactly the same. Right, the Riverhead Development, and I don't know if you've been out there for a while. I was there last Sunday. I can see why people live out there in Coatesville. It's a beautiful area. around there, and great wee cafes and what have you, let alone a great golf course and right at the end of the motorway. This development here, there are we have a group of 12, with 8 are for sale. The rest of the development are 3 bedrooms and bigger, and they start starting at the high 7s going through to into the 8s. We're not focusing on them. If you're interested in one, you can certainly come and see us and we can sell you one. In the middle of the complex, there's 12 units, 6 on the bottom floor and 6 on the top floor. And the outside 2 of each side, the developers are holding for themselves. So there's 8 in the middle, 4 down the bottom, 4 up top. That's how it is. Again, as I said, the flooring, the chattels are all quality. Rental appraisal out there is $550 a week. There is a very good chance before settlement. The developer's in talks with a company making a movie over here. I think it starts later this year or next year, who are talking about wanting to rent the whole complex for figures between $600 and $800 a week. That may not happen, so don't bet on it. The rental appraisal of $550 is more what I'd be happy for you to work on. As I said, it's 8 to sell, all for $599. This is Riverhead. This is the same price as you'll get in Kiwi Build and Papakura. As I said, the 4 on the outside aren't for sale. And great location. As I said, very similar to the last one. These are great, and we'd love to sell these 8 as quick as we could to our investors or first home buyers that want a bit of a rural lifestyle, but so close to town and all the benefits of the motorway right at your doorstep. Again, interested, give us an email, and this time put on the heading Riverhead Development, and we'd love to get some package out to you on that property. Okay, the next one is not a first home buyer product. It's definitely an investment property, and it's something pretty special. And you might look and go, geez, Turangi, where is Turangi? If you're not sure, it's at the bottom of Lake Taupo. A lot of people from Taupo now living there because they can't afford to live in Taupo. It's the heart of the outdoor adventure world of the North Island, under the ski fields, fishing, hunting, whitewater rafting, swimming. There's all sort of events that you do there, and why Turangi is getting bigger and bigger. There's been a couple of commercial industries open up there in the last year that has created a whole lot of more jobs, meaning a whole lot more people need to come into town. These aren't city-size properties at 60 square metres. These are all between 110 and 130 square metre 2-bedroom units. So these are cash flow properties, as you're about to hear about. There's 51 of them going to be built in a unit gated development. Right outside them are 5 others, and we have 3 available right now for $350,000. After these are finished, the rest are going to be start selling at $370,000. So already you made $20,000 before you even start. We'll have 2 car parks each. Rent $440, and you might go, oh, yeah, that's okay. It's actually way better than $440 looks. That's after all expenses. So what the company that's going to manage these is doing, they are going to pay for insurance, they're going to pay for body corp, they're going to pay for any other expenses you might occur. So when I say 440, I mean 440 in the hand money after everything. So you'll receive 440 a week from paying the 350. Now I've worked out if you're getting a loan at 4%, for example, for the next 2 years, and you get your 440, you're getting well over $8,000, about $8,500. In fact, these properties will pay you for only one at $350,000. They're wanting to do a 2-year with a possible another 2-year lease after that. They're making money on that, so they're getting more than that. So, it's a good thing if it doesn't happen in 4 years or 2 years, because you will make more than the $8,000 a year if you haven't paid anything off it. A really special opportunity for particularly maybe someone new coming into the game, or you can imagine if you have one of these for $350,000, $8,000 it's paying you up front. How many places in Auckland or Tauranga or Wellington can you own that's actually going to pay for the negative cash flow? Probably 1 or 2 at least anyway. On site, there's going to be a pavilion with two spa pools, barbecues, rec room, office space, and other such things. A great wee development. Will you see this anywhere else? Absolutely not. And this is a real good opportunity that's just starting here right now, and we can go to contract on that from today. Again, you want to know any more information, or you want to sell and purchase contract, email me and put Gateway Development for this one here, and I'll know what you're talking about. Okay, the last one I'm going to look at today is a developer who we've sold 3 other of their developments in Christchurch in the last 5 or so years. This is similar to one of the other ones they did where there was a bit of a land around it, which is quite cool. It's very close to the Littleton Tunnel. I believe it's about a 10 or 15 minute drive to the middle of town, and there's a mixture of what you can buy here. So there's 28 townhouses and 12 villas. They start at $409,000. I love Christchurch. And as you'll see there, the 56, the starting one, the first 12 that are going to be sold, $56,000 below recent valuation. This is pretty common for these two developers that build in Christchurch. And as I said, every time that we've had people buy and they've sold at the end of the development, they've always got that recent valuation price when they've sold as a minimum. So when it's $56,000, you can't help but make that if you're in quick and buy it. $5,000 turnkey pack. That means it'll have the curtains and some kitchenware and stuff and bits and pieces in there, so to make sure you can rent it straight away. The rental appraisal is between $440 and $460, so about 5.5% to 6% yield. And as I said, the prices go up after the first 14 sales. They'll go up $20,000, and after the next 14 sales, they'll go up another $20,000, and the last few will be sold at recent valuation. $7K from the CBD, and a 2-minute bus walk to get the bus to the CBD or through the tunnel over to Littleton. Voucher these guys. They've done several products we have sold. Had a lot of investors buy through them. Great opportunity in Christchurch. Just so you're aware, the Christchurch market finally, after the last sort of 6 years, has started moving. We've noticed severely in the last probably 2 months that a lot of places are selling that weren't selling 6 months earlier, and getting good prices. For example, we put a place on the market in Christchurch about a month ago, had 3 open homes, 120 people through it, and 5 offers in a multi-offer situation. Pretty good. And another place that we knew was on the market 6 or 8 months ago, couldn't find anyone for it. We had one buy, the deal fell over. Took it off the market, we just come back on and got 3 keen people, and we're still within the first week of marketing. Lots going on down there. We're selling a lot of properties down there. These Maltworks Terraces, the developers own this land for quite some time. These are going to be a fantastic buy for the first home buyers here in Christchurch, or the investors that want a really good quality build with a bit of land. So again, if you're interested, give us an email and hit this one up, Maltworks Christchurch, and we'll send you information on that property. Okay, just to finish up, a lot of people listening to this know who Property Ventures Real Estate are. If you don't, just briefly who we are, or a bit about what we offer. We educate through the New Zealand Property Podcast. It's the only one of its type in New Zealand. We're up to podcast 95, I think it is. And it's become a really popular series. We've never advertised this thing, and we've had almost 200,000 people view it. So it gets a bit of traction. We do blogs. We educate and inform people with small videos through Facebook. There's our Facebook page. And we do weekly newsletters. And it's not the usual weekly real estate newsletter where you just chuck a whole lot of properties on there. We talk about opportunities coming up, a bit like what we're talking about today. That will be on this week's newsletter. And we just talk about things we see happening in the market. So we are a bit different than the standard real estate company. We do an article in the Property Investor magazine every monthly with a strategist column where we see things in the market right now and try to educate people on it. We think we're a new build specialists and experts, and this is just 4 properties of probably 10 or 13 or 14 different opportunities we've got around the country. If you want to work with spec home, we work with a couple of spec home companies that you can probably get a better deal through us than you can by going directly to them, and we'll sort you out the pitfalls that you might have with them when you go through them. So we have a whole lot of other opportunities. We sell normal real estate, good second-hand product, anywhere from Dunedin through to Whangarei. So you may not have heard us. We bat big and we go all around New Zealand. So thanks for listening. I've spent 20 minutes of your time. I hope you've got something out of it. And I seriously, legitimately think what those 4 properties are, for totally different reasons, 4 fantastic new builds that you don't normally get access to that price, or in some places quality or cash flow for those properties, or equity. So if you're interested, please contact us. Our details are going to finish up on the page in just a wee minute. You're looking at selling your property or want to talk anything real estate, give us a call, 0800 NZ Property, and we'd love to help you. So thanks again for listening. Have a fantastic day, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Cheers.